talk about Tana, a long overdue apology mojo. Or, as I affectionately like to call her, Tana, he fucked me with the toothbrush mojo. Oh, Tana. So everyone, for a little bit of context, we gotta talk about what happened with Tana so that we can move on to the final point. Tana has been in a lot of controversies recently that she just didn't prioritize addressing. From being called out for her microaggressive behaviour by Colin Barry, and also being called out by Simply Nessa for her microaggressive behaviour. On top of that, being exposed for going to parties during a worldwide pandemic when the numbers in California are ever spiking. And on top of that, promoting going to parties. And on top of that, lying about saying you're no longer going to parties whenever you're continuing to go to them just to cover your image. And also talking bad about Colin and Nessa behind the scenes for weeks on end. Along with a lot of other stuff. So Tana has not been in good public standing recently, as she really shouldn't be, because this girl just doesn't care. As Tana would say in a video she posted not that long ago, we don't fucking care! And I believe her. But anyway, after weeks upon weeks, literally months, Tana finally apologized, I think. I won't say I'm certain, but I'll say I think so. And the video was called A Long Overdue Apology, which is very funny because the entire video is very much so not an apology and is very forced and robotic. I've never seen this woman be so robotic in my life. And I've watched her scripted storytime videos. Anyways. Not only was her video scripted and a mess, in my opinion, because we're gonna get into that, the video was just so dead. Like, flatline is the right word I'm looking for. Literally, no emotion, like, just... So I want to say I'm sorry. Why did I have to give the little... at the end? And on top of that, even more, there were so many jump cuts throughout the video. Now, 101, how not to do an apology video is fucking jump cuts. Tana later said that she was crying, and so that's why she was doing jump cuts, but either way, not a good look for your apology video. Before we get into any other opinions I may have on it, the video got so much backlash that the dislikes were outweighing the likes, and Tana had to jump on her Instagram story to acknowledge the claims that people were saying about this video. So what we're gonna do is watch her Instagram story from that night. It's a lot. Now, if you don't know how this works, we watch it once without stopping it, then we watch it again while talking. So grab your water and let's watch. There's something on my speaker. Oh my god, it's a piece of confetti! That's so much fun. Love it.
As you guys see, I uploaded a video clarifying a lot of stuff going on, and I just want to let you know that I'm taking in everything everyone is saying and will be making a response. A lot of people are really coming for me for being so, like, emotionless, just kind of talking and saying it's a script and whatever, but I was just like, you know, scared to cry. Like, at the end of the day, if you're crying and freaking out in an apology video, people are going to be so much more angry for that, and I just felt like this was something that I needed to do without emotion because it's not about me. So when it comes to the next video, obviously I'm going to be sitting down talking like Tana Mongeau, like normal, like fucking just talking to y'all and responding to the things people are saying, but I just felt like I needed to get a lot of points across quickly. But on top of that, anything I did wrong in this video or anything people still have questions about, if you want to ask me those or you want to talk about it, I will talk about it in the future. Like, I want to be an open book with all of this and with my this right now once and for all. That shit is straight from my heart, straight from my head. I said it all. I would never ever let someone write me a script for something so important. I just needed to sit down and say things as it is with no emotion. And there are a lot of cuts because I would stop, I would cry, I would freak out, I would use a low voice and be sad, and it was just like, that's not what this is, so I cut it out. So it's not a script, never will be. Yeah. But again, when it comes down to any questions and concerns anyone has, I will be talking about them in the future with all of you in a completely normal way. I just wanted my statement to be out there and not have a bunch of emotion because we've all seen me cry on the internet far, 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 far too much. So, yeah.
Okay. 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 Okay, now let's talk about it. First things first, what's going on here? That's the first thing I have to say, because this does not sound like Tana Mongeau. The same way her video did not sound like Tana Mongeau because she was so emotionless, this almost sounds more emotionless. She no longer sounds like a robot. she just sounds very... What's the polite way of what I'm trying to say? I don't think there is one. She does not sound very sober.
Allegedly.
In this video. And I mean this in the best way possible in terms of I'm looking out for her. And I genuinely fucking mean that because on a personal human level, Tana, please look out for yourself too. Because the behavior that's shown in this video seems very drowsy and not fully there. And so I'm trying to be like really like careful and nice here and just like, I'm wishing you the best. Like, what am I trying to say? I'm sending well wishes. I genuinely fucking mean that though. Like, Tana, you do not seem okay here. I hope you have a support system around you because I know there's a lot of leeches, including your manager. Well, we'll fucking press that button. But like, you don't seem to have the best support system around you, which is why you seem to constantly fall into these erratic, strange, problematic behaviors. And I'm in no way excusing anything you're doing. I'm literally just speaking on how you sound in this clip. If you've posted an apology video that has been building up for months and months and then you seemingly aren't fully here in this video addressing backlash for it, it's kind of like a dangerous look, honestly. That's all I'll say on that. But now let's get into this.
As you guys see, I uploaded a video.
You know what I mean? Slurring and not really sounding the best.
A lot of stuff going on, and I just want to let you know that I'm taking in everything everyone is saying and will be making a response.
Like, it almost sounds like there's a filter on this, you know what I mean?
A lot of people are really coming for me for being so, like, emotionless.
That's not really something you want to be told in an apology video. You sound emotionless, you know what I mean?
Just kind of talking and saying it's a script and whatever, but I was just like, you know, scared to cry. Like,
okay, so she says that she was scared to cry, and then later on says that she had to stop to cry. Now, that's not true, Tana. Like, we watched your video. The only thing that changed throughout the jump cuts was your hair. You were fixing your hair. No tears, no crying, unless you have the best fucking makeup team that were working like, you know, like that. That's bullshit.
At the end of the day, if you're crying and freaking out in an apology video, people are going to be so much more angry for that. And I just...
Actually, I agree that crying in an apology video is not a good look. I agree with her on that. But, crying and showing emotion, Tana, you know, you can do one without the other.
So, like,
and, like, care without
that crying. I needed to do without emotion because of...
What does that mean? She had to do this apology video without emotion? What does that mean? Okay.
It's not about me. So when
it's not about you, yes it is. The story that you needed to properly address was with Colin and Nessa, and your partying behavior on top of that. But Tana, you saying that it's not about you is a weird attitude and route to take with this because you should be working on yourself. And one thing I don't like that you said in your video was if I have to start every single video with apologizing for my last video, I will. That's not the attitude to have. You should be like, how do I make myself a better person? And so you saying it's not about me, yeah it is, Tana. This is about how you can do fucking better. Because you have a track history of just not doing that. You still haven't apologized to Nessa and Colin privately and are just ignoring them and blocking them.
Comes to the next video, obviously I'm going to be sitting down talking like Tana Mongeau, like normal, like...
What does that mean? I will eventually be sitting down again talking like Tana Mongeau. Who the fuck's this then?
Fucking just talking to y'all and responding to the things people are saying, but I just feel like I need to get a lot of points across quickly. But on top of that, anything I did wrong in this...
She wants to get a couple points across quickly. Is that why you had fucking like 300 jump cuts? I think it was just because you didn't monetize the video, and we know you love a monetization. We know you love them mid-rolls, but you couldn't have them in this, so you went, fuck it, I'm just gonna make the video snappy.
This video or anything people still have questions about, if you want to ask me those, or you want to...
I don't understand how she's like, if you have questions, I can answer them, whenever she's not even addressing, privately, Colin or Nessa. Why the fuck are you, like, answering the general public's questions, but not theirs?
Talk about it, I will talk about it in the future, like, I want...
Why not now? Why the future? Why are you dragging this on like you've been fucking doing since the start?
To be an open book with all of this, and with my... This right now, once and for all, that shit is straight from my heart, straight from my head. I said it all. I would never ever let someone write me a script for something.
This doesn't even sound like her.
It's so important. I just needed to sit down and say things as it is with no emotion, and there are a lot.
Let me gather myself. Okay, I'm gathered. What does that mean? What does that mean that you're apologizing for microaggressive behavior and you like, oh, I needed to do this with no emotion. Again, I just need to have no emotion. Like,
a lot of cuts because I would stop, I would cry, I would freak out, I would use a low voice.
Which is, God. It's funny but not funny, like she's just straight up lying here. I'm telling you now, she did not cry throughout this video. Let me pull this up. There's jump cuts, but nothing is changing. Look, here's the start of the video, and here's the end of the video. Exact same makeup. Girl, you must have a fucking good makeup artist if they've making you look so consistent if you're crying and freaking out. And you're also not changing positions. You're sitting in the same spot, but you're just like rocking back and forth, right? And you're sitting upright in parts and slumping over in others. Girl, that's a lie. Your eyes aren't even watering up.
Exactly how I see what I want. The only goal to take 100 is me or the advice.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
And it was just like, that's not what this is, so I cut it out. So it's not a script.
Also, she's like, so I cut out the emotional bits. But if you look at the jump cuts, there's like jump cuts here where she ends talking and then starts talking. So she would have to fucking sob and freak out within at least 4 seconds, and then it would be the jump cut. So even that doesn't add up.
Script. Never will be. Yep. But again, when it comes down to any questions and concerns anyone has, I will be talking about them in the future with all of you in a completely normal way. I just wanted my
What does she mean in a completely normal way? Like, this is the attitude they all have during their apology videos.
To be out there and not have a bunch of emotion, because we've all seen me cry on the internet far, 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 far too much.
So I'm just gonna do it with no emotion. That's an actual quote from her. This doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. So her long overdue apology video sucked because she sounded like a robot, and then this sucks because she doesn't even sound like her. And she's again putting it... Now, if you don't even remember the timeline, let me catch you up. Tana was teasing this apology video for literal months, and she was using that as her excuse of getting out of being held accountable. She said the videos were coming and she had to work on them, that she was literally making video upon video, and then whenever this dropped, everyone was like, so you lied about that? Okay, and now she's addressing the backlash of this video by saying yes, she will be addressing it again in the future. It's like a constant loop of she's just hoping the hype around it of negative press dies down so she never has to do that future addressing it. But she did this time for that video, but now, you know, that's why it's so hard to take her seriously, and it's genuinely frustrating when someone this irresponsible has a plan. How are you gonna get called out and then be like, how are you going to get called out even more and be like, and then get called out so much for months upon months and then do a video, and then whenever you get backlash on that, rightfully so, you're like, it's not good enough. It's really not good enough. Tana is a grown woman, so this has a lot to do with what she decides to do. But also, just the people she chooses to surround herself with are never going to encourage growth with her because they want her to be that reckless social media star so they make her more money. And it's like, on a personal level, like, are you okay with yourself just being like that? And that's like a question to Tana, you know what I mean? Are you okay with just being perceived, rightfully so, as that for like the rest of your social media life? Because you're making no effort to change it, and in your effort to change it, you even yourself are acknowledging that it's bad. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, Jesus Christ. Apology video sucked, and video explaining why the apology video sucked. Nice. Guys, let me know what your opinion is of this. Something very off about that video, by the way, her addressing it, and just the points she made where she's like just straight up lying again. I'm just gonna...
Allegedly.
I don't mean it, but you know what I mean? It's... weird. This just has me feeling so, like... is that allowed? You know what I mean? Anyways, let me know how you're feeling about this. And do you think she'll really address it in the future? I don't. Okay, bye.